So I rolled. I put my partner in a T-Kimura. I slide my hips up under their head. I've got the grip punched to their chest, elbow lifted. The first reaction a lot of people have is they try to turn to the left. They try to test your Kimura grip here because ripping their arm out is the fastest way to escape this position. So if Dane goes to turn, I have to remember a couple things. Go ahead. When he does, my elbow right here is also assisting. Okay, so as he turns, I'm kind of guiding and blocking him from turning using that elbow. I'm keeping his elbow lifted off the mat, and a lot of times they stalemate right in this position. If you notice that space under the rib cage, as he goes to do that turn, I slide my knee into that space. If I can slingshot that knee in, now I have three main options. I can throw in the hook. If I put the hook in, if I can reach this spot, all I do is pinch my knees and tilt my partner, and I can start to throw the second hook in as we rock to the other side and start looking for our strength. Option two, I went to the hip. Now I can go to the shoulder. If I get a nice purchase over the shoulder with my knee right next to my partner's neck, this is a good opportunity to go for a back triangle. To finish this, I'm going to scoop, double scoop, pull the arm above my partner's head as I pinch my knees and start to tilt to the other side. Here, I pinch my knee tight, closing the circle around my partner's head, and I can lock a triangle, tuck my leg, and this back triangle, it's the end of the road. Even if I don't get the triangle, you got all these submissions with the arm that you can figure out. He's done. Option three, you go hip for the back, shoulder for the back triangle, or if we can get over our partner's head, we can start looking for arm locks. This one you guys probably know. I'm going to start using my leg to pin my partner to the floor. And from here, you have the option of throwing your foot over if you'd like. If his hands are connected, there's a million ways to break the grip. My favorite is pulling the elbow off center, going elbow deep at my partner's wrist. We fall above the head, and we use that Kimura style pressure to force the grip break. And from here, we just 2-on-1 grip, turn the thumb to the ceiling, and we go to finish. Some other options, if my partner doesn't do the same style turn up to their hip and leave space under their ribs, sometimes I have this so tight that they try to turn, they get a little bit up, but they leave this arm, this opposite arm, just ever so slightly out. When I see that, I can throw my leg over and try to get my heel under my partner's armpit. If that happens, I'm going to force them back to the mat, and now I'm going to start trying to lock this side triangle. Sometimes it's perfect when you land. If not, we have to adjust it. I'm going to keep the Kimura grip. I'm going to let go with this hand on the wrist, reach up and grab my partner's tricep and start pulling this against the neck. And one big tip, I always kick this leg as deep as possible. Now, hamstring curl. I'm horizontal with the floor with my shin. I'm going to use my leg opposite underneath his neck, making sure I'm not under his shoulder. And I actually try to reach the bottom leg up to the foot, if possible. I get as deep as I can under my knee and calf. I clamp the heel, back heel, he's done. So we have a few other options if my partner doesn't turn exactly the same as the previous moves. Sometimes this is so tight that they can't fully get up to their hip and leave space under their ribs. If he turns and he doesn't get his back all the way up, go ahead. Right about here, sometimes I'll see this arm just hanging out. And as he's starting to turn, I use this leg to slow him down, and I'm going to try to get my heel right in the armpit. If I can get my heel and calf into the armpit, I'm going to start closing my ankles together, and from this position, I can start to lock in a tight side triangle. I'm going to let go temporarily to reach up and grab and pull this against my partner's neck. And a really big detail, kick this leg deep. I kick it as deep as possible, hamstring curl. My shin is horizontal with the floor. My other leg is under his neck, not his shoulder. I start to reach this bottom leg up as high as possible, try to get as deep of a triangle as possible, and then we back heel, squeeze. Another one, if he does the same type of turn, but doesn't leave that space under the arm, as he goes to turn, I try to get under the arm, but it's not there, so I just go with the head. And now, here's the key. This is called either the leg scissor or the nutcracker choke. I like the nutcracker choke because it's doing exactly what a nutcracker does. I'm going to keep this knee directly under his neck. I have to make sure my bottom knee is under his neck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shrimp ever so slightly, bringing that knee directly under his neck. Now I cross my two ankles, and as I stretch my legs away, my two knees come together and clack like a nutcracker and get that strangle. And another option is if they just don't move at all, you can start to walk your hips away. I'm going to keep the pressure against their stomach. I come up over their shoulder and head, and I'm going to use this moment in my entire body to force that wrist to the mat. Now I bring my right hip to the shoulders, making sure I step over my partner's head. I'm closing the knee to the shoulder. And now I'm going to put my elbow to the floor, lean back, pull the elbow with me, push the wrist, and that's a tight Kimura. Sometimes my partner's not reacting at all when I hit this roll to the T-Kimura. And if he's not turning, I'm going to come up on top. So I'm going to walk my hips away. I'm going to start to belly down here. As I start to come up, I'm going to use my entire body here to start forcing my partner's wrist to the mat. Once his wrist is on the mat, I'm going to put my elbow on the floor. I'm going to step over my partner's head, making sure my hip is on his shoulder. I try to close the space between my knee and my shoulder. I'm going to start to lean back. I'm going to pull this elbow up to my face and push the wrist. And that's a very tight Kimura from the top side control.